Welcome, and thank you for being here. Today, we are going to explore one of the most remarkable and resilient organs in the human body, your brain. Specifically, we are going to talk about how to protect, nourish, and even upgrade your cognitive function as you navigate life beyond 50. For a long time, the scientific community believed a rather discouraging myth. The prevailing thought was that our brains were like machines that simply wore out over time. We were told that we are born with a certain number of brain cells, and as we age, we slowly lose them, leading to an inevitable decline in memory, focus, and sharpness. Today, grounded in modern neuroscience, we know this is fundamentally untrue. Your brain is not a static machine. It is a living, breathing ecosystem capable of growth and adaptation at any age. This concept is called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity means your brain can form new neural pathways, create new connections, and literally rewire itself based on your habits, your environment, and your actions. Aging does bring changes. You might find that it takes a little longer to recall a name, or that multitasking feels more draining than it did in your 20s. This is a normal part of the aging process. However, cognitive decline is not a mandatory part of getting older. You have incredible power to influence how your brain ages. Over our time together today, we are going to break down the actionable, science-backed steps you can take to improve your cognitive function. We will look at how you challenge your mind, how you move your body, what you put on your plate, how you rest, and how you connect with the world around you. Let us begin with how we actively use our minds. The phrase, use it or lose it, is incredibly accurate when applied to brain health. When you learn something new, your brain builds new connections. When you repeat that new skill, those connections become thicker and faster. Many people turn to crossword puzzles or Sudoku to stay sharp. While these are wonderful activities, they mostly train your brain to become very good at crossword puzzles and Sudoku. To truly harness neuroplasticity, you need novelty and challenge. You need to step outside your cognitive comfort zone. Think about learning a new language. You do not have to become fluent, but the act of memorizing new vocabulary and understanding a new grammar structure forces your brain to work in entirely new ways. Learning to play a musical instrument is another powerful tool. It requires hand-eye coordination, reading symbols, and active listening, which engages multiple areas of the brain simultaneously. If learning an instrument or a language feels out of reach, try smaller daily disruptions. Brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand. Take a completely different route to the grocery store. Read a book on a subject you know absolutely nothing about. The goal is to make your brain work a little bit harder than usual. It is that feeling of slight frustration when learning something new that signals your brain to build new pathways. Embrace the challenge. Now, let us move from mental exercise to physical exercise. It might surprise you to learn that one of the absolute best things you can do for your brain is to put on a pair of comfortable shoes and move your body. Your brain consumes about 20% of your body's oxygen and energy, despite making up only 2% of your body weight. It requires a massive, steady flow of blood to function optimally. Cardiovascular exercise, like brisk walking, swimming, or cycling, gets your heart pumping and increases that vital blood flow to your brain, delivering oxygen and nutrients while clearing away cellular waste. But the benefits of movement go much deeper than blood flow. When you engage in aerobic exercise, your body releases a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor. You can think of this protein as fertilizer for your brain. It promotes the survival of existing brain cells and encourages the growth of new neurons and synapses, particularly in the hippocampus, which is the area of the brain responsible for memory and learning. Strength training is equally important. Lifting weights, using resistance bands, or doing bodyweight exercises like squats helps maintain muscle mass and metabolic health, which are directly linked to brain health. You do not need to become a marathon runner or a bodybuilder. Aim for 30 minutes of moderate activity most days of the week. The key is consistency. Find movement that you genuinely enjoy, whether that is a dance class, gardening, or a brisk morning walk with a friend, and make it a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Let us transition to the fuel you provide your body and mind. The food you eat has a profound, direct impact on your cognitive function. The brain is highly susceptible to oxidative stress and inflammation, both of which can accelerate aging and cognitive decline. To combat this, nutritionists and neuroscientists often point to the MIND diet, which is a hybrid of the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet specifically designed to support brain health. The foundation of this approach is simple. Eat more whole foods and fewer processed foods. Let us focus on the superstars of brain nutrition. First are leafy greens. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and arugula are packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that protect the brain. Aim for at least one serving of leafy greens every day. Next are berries, particularly blueberries and blackberries. These are rich in flavonoids, which are powerful antioxidants that have been shown to delay memory decline. Think of them as tiny, delicious shields for your brain cells. We also need to talk about healthy fats. Your brain is composed of nearly 60% fat, and it relies on dietary fats to maintain the integrity of its cell membranes. Omega-3 fatty acids are absolutely crucial. You can find high levels of omega-3s in fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and trout. If you do not eat fish, walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds are excellent alternatives. Equally important is what you should limit. Highly processed foods, refined sugars, and excessive amounts of saturated fats can trigger inflammation in the body and the brain. Spikes in blood sugar can impair focus and memory in the short term, and over time, poor metabolic health is a significant risk factor for cognitive decline. Focus on whole grains, lean proteins, and an abundance of vegetables. And do not forget to drink water. Even mild dehydration can lead to brain fog, fatigue, and difficulty concentrating. Keep a glass of water nearby and sip it throughout the day to ensure your brain has the hydration it needs to fire on all cylinders. Perhaps the most underrated pillar of brain health is sleep. In our busy culture, we often view sleep as a luxury, or worse, as a waste of time. For your brain, however, sleep is an absolute necessity. It is the time when the most critical maintenance work happens. When you fall into deep sleep, your brain goes to work consolidating memories. It takes the information and experiences you gathered during the day, processes them, and stores them in your long-term memory. If you are not getting enough deep sleep, this process is interrupted, which is why a poor night's sleep often leads to forgetfulness and a lack of focus the next day. Even more fascinating is a relatively recent discovery called the glymphatic system. Think of this as the brain's waste clearance system. Throughout the day, as your brain cells work, they produce metabolic waste products. During deep sleep, the fluid in your brain literally flushes through the tissue, clearing away these toxins. If you consistently cut your sleep short, these toxins can build up, which scientists believe plays a significant role in long-term cognitive decline. Getting quality sleep as we age can sometimes be challenging, but there are proven strategies to improve it. Consistency is key. Try to go to bed and wake up at the exact same time every day, even on weekends. This helps regulate your body's internal clock. Create a sanctuary for sleep. Your bedroom should be cool, dark, and quiet. Limit your exposure to the blue light emitted by phones, tablets, and televisions at least an hour before bed, as this light interferes with the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. Instead, establish a winding down routine. Read a physical book, listen to calming music, or practice gentle stretching. Treat your sleep with the reverence it deserves. Next, we must address the impact of chronic stress. In small doses, stress is helpful. It keeps us alert and focused. But chronic, unmanaged stress is deeply toxic to the brain. When you are constantly stressed, your body produces high levels of cortisol. Over time, elevated cortisol levels can physically shrink the hippocampus, that vital memory center we discussed earlier. Chronic stress also impairs your prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for executive functions like decision-making, planning, and impulse control. Managing stress is not about eliminating all difficulties from your life. It is about changing how your body and mind respond to them. This is where mindfulness and relaxation techniques become essential tools for cognitive preservation. Meditation is one of the most effective ways to lower cortisol and improve focus. You do not need to sit cross-legged on a mountain to meditate. Simply sitting quietly for 10 minutes a day, closing your eyes, and paying attention to the physical sensation of your breath moving in and out can profoundly calm your nervous system. When your mind wanders, and it will, simply notice it and gently return your focus to your breath. Deep breathing exercises are another powerful tool. Try the 4-7-8 technique. Breathe in quietly through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. Exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound, for a count of 8. Doing this just a few times can act as a reset button for your nervous system, immediately lowering your heart rate and reducing feelings of anxiety. The final pillar of cognitive health is deeply woven into our nature as human beings. We are profoundly social creatures, and our brains thrive on connection. Research consistently shows that strong social ties are incredibly protective against cognitive decline. Engaging in meaningful conversations requires active listening, empathy, interpreting body language, and formulating responses. All of this is highly complex cognitive work that keeps the brain agile and engaged. Conversely, chronic loneliness and social isolation are significant risk factors for a rapid decline in cognitive function. As we age, our social circles can sometimes shrink due to retirement, moving, or changes in health. It requires conscious effort to maintain and build new connections. Make time for the people who uplift you. Schedule regular phone calls with family, set up weekly coffee dates with friends, or host a small dinner. But also look outward. Volunteering is a phenomenal way to boost brain health. It provides a sense of purpose, introduces you to new people, and often requires you to learn new skills. Join a club, take a local class, or get involved in a community garden. Purpose and connection are the emotional fuel that keeps the mind vibrant. We have covered a tremendous amount of ground today. We have learned that the brain is plastic and capable of growth at any age. We discussed the necessity of challenging your mind with new skills, the incredible benefits of physical movement and healthy blood flow, and the importance of nourishing your brain with whole foods, leafy greens, and healthy fats. We explored how deep sleep washes away toxins and consolidates memories, how managing stress protects the physical structure of your brain, and how social connection keeps your mind sharp and engaged. It can feel overwhelming to look at all these areas at once. The goal is not to completely overhaul your life by tomorrow morning. Perfection is the enemy of progress. The goal is to make small, sustainable changes. Choose just one area to focus on this week. Perhaps you decide to add a serving of berries to your breakfast every morning. Maybe you commit to a 20-minute walk after dinner. Or perhaps you decide to put your phone away an hour before bed and read instead. Once that small change becomes a habit, choose another one. Health is not a destination, it is a continuous practice. Your brain is a beautiful, complex, and resilient organ. By providing it with the right challenges, the right fuel, and the right rest, you are laying the foundation for a sharp, vibrant, and deeply fulfilling life well into your later years. Thank you for your time and your attention. Here is to your health, and here is to a thriving mind.
Hello, I invite you to join us on the Mindful Aging channel, where we discuss health and wellness for a vibrant life.